South Korea, South Korea, South Korea. Indonesia, Turkey, Ukraine, Australia. America, 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 America. America, America. South Korea, America, South Korea, America, South Korea, America, 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 Israel, America, Philippines, India, Vietnam, Spain, United Kingdom, India, India, Vietnam, Palestine, Canada, France, Germany, Philippines, Ukraine, Mexico, Spain, Spain, Germany, Philippines, Indonesia, France, Vietnam, Ukraine, Vietnam, France, Vietnam, Spain, Turkey, Japan, Mexico, Indonesia, Ukraine, Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia, Israel, United Kingdom, Canada, United America, Vietnam, Japan, America, America, Canada, America, 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 Philippines, France, Mexico, Vietnam, France, Turkey, Brazil, Philippines, Argentina, America, India, Germany, Argentina, United Mexico, Canada, Turkey, Australia, France, Australia, Mexico, South Korea, Spain, Canada, Argentina, Israel, Brazil, Turkey, South Korea, America, Vietnam, Ukraine, Indonesia, United Kingdom, Indonesia, Indonesia, Ukraine, Turkey, Argentina, Philippines, Russia, Argentina, Indonesia, Israel, Turkey, Brazil, Israel, India, United Kingdom, Japan, Japan, Vietnam, Turkey, America, Spain, Ukraine, India, Argentina, Canada, Russia, Germany, Spain, Russia, 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 Ukraine, Philippines, Israel, Canada, Spain, Palestine, Australia, France, Japan, France, Japan, Australia, Japan, Australia, Philippines, Mexico, Canada, Turkey, Argentina, America, Indonesia, Canada, Turkey, Argentina, Vietnam, Indonesia, America, South Spain, Spain, Indonesia, Ukraine, Vietnam, United Kingdom, Brazil, America, Germany, Mexico, Turkey, Russia, United Kingdom, America, Israel, Indonesia, Argentina, Turkey, Vietnam, Germany, Ukraine, Brazil, India, India, South Korea, United Kingdom, Japan, United America. France, Vietnam, Spain, India, Turkey, Indonesia, South Korea, India, Japan, Vietnam, Palestine, Russia, Australia, Palestine, France, Argentina, Canada, India, United Kingdom, Japan, Mexico, Brazil, Ukraine, Australia, Germany, India, Brazil, Mexico, Germany, Russia, Mexico, Palestine, Philippines, Spain, Israel, Brazil, Japan, Canada, Argentina, Palestine, France, Spain, Argentina, America, Canada, Indonesia, Israel, Mexico, Australia, Vietnam, France, Brazil, Ukraine, India, Brazil, Canada, United Kingdom, Brazil, United Kingdom, India, Australia, Brazil, Israel, Australia, Japan, Palestine, Turkey, Israel, Ukraine, Russia, France, Argentina, Russia, Japan, Brazil, Russia, India, Mexico, Canada, Philippines, Germany, Brazil, America, Israel, Turkey, Philippines, America, Mexico, Vietnam, India, Germany, America, South Korea, India, Japan, United Kingdom, Ukraine, Mexico, India, Israel, India, Vietnam, Indonesia, Argentina, Vietnam, United Kingdom, Argentina, Indonesia, Israel, Spain, India, Palestine, Germany, Argentina, Turkey, Germany, America, Argentina, America, Philippines, Australia, America, Philippines, America, United Kingdom, Israel, France, Spain, Australia, Vietnam, France, Mexico, France, Germany, Argentina, Japan, Canada, Japan, America, Argentina, Germany, Vietnam, Ukraine, Argentina, Turkey, Israel, Mexico, America, Indonesia, Australia, Turkey, Mexico, Argentina, Israel, Turkey, Brazil, Germany, Japan, Australia, Ukraine, Vietnam, Philippines, Turkey, Brazil, Vietnam, Palestine, Russia, Germany, America, Germany, India, United Kingdom, India, Germany, Israel, Spain, Japan, Argentina, Spain, Brazil, Canada, Philippines, Ukraine, America, Brazil, India, Australia, United Kingdom, Mexico, America, Indonesia, Vietnam, Spain, Russia, Germany, Israel, Turkey, Australia, Germany, Philippines, Palestine, India. Turkey, Israel, Spain, Argentina, India, Japan, Vietnam, Israel, Canada, India, Mexico, Canada, Palestine, Turkey, Vietnam, Turkey, Brazil, India, Ukraine, Brazil, India, United Kingdom, Spain, Brazil, Spain, France, Philippines, Israel, India, Germany, Turkey, India, America, France, Brazil, Argentina, Ukraine, Australia, Palestine, Philippines, Indonesia, Germany, Turkey, Canada, Vietnam, Turkey, France, Australia, Turkey, Argentina, Brazil, Argentina, India, Vietnam, Brazil, America, Spain, Brazil, Mexico, Japan, Indonesia, Philippines, Israel, Philippines, Australia, Russia, Germany, Canada, Indonesia, India, America, Indonesia, Ukraine, Argentina, Canada, India, Germany, Ukraine, Mexico, Vietnam, Israel, United Kingdom, Russia, Palestine, Mexico, Argentina, France, Philippines, United Kingdom, Palestine, Canada, America, Spain, Ukraine, Israel, Philippines, South Korea, Philippines, Brazil, Palestine, Turkey, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Canada, Vietnam, Israel, Spain, Canada, America, Mexico, Canada, Japan, South Korea, Israel, Japan, Israel, France, India, Indonesia, Germany, France, Israel, India, Israel, Turkey, Argentina, Vietnam, Israel, Germany, America, Russia, Japan, United Kingdom, South Korea, Australia, France, Spain, Israel, Indonesia, Australia, Turkey, Ukraine, Vietnam, South France, Israel, Palestine, India, Canada, France, Mexico, Australia, Brazil, Ukraine. Japan. South Korea. Japan. South Korea. South Korea. Japan. Japan. South Korea, South Korea, South Korea, Japan. 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 South Korea. Japan. South Korea. Turkey. Japan. 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 Turkey. Japan. Turkey. Japan. India. Turkey. Japan. Japan. Turkey. South Korea. Japan. South Korea. India. Japan. Turkey. Japan. Turkey. South Japan. South Korea. Japan. Turkey. Japan. Turkey. South Korea. Turkey. Japan. Turkey. Turkey. South Korea. Turkey. South Korea. South Korea, India. South Korea, India, South Korea, India, South Korea, South Korea, India, America, India, South Korea, South Korea, India, South Korea, America, South Korea, South Korea, America, 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 South Korea, America, America, Japan, America, South Japan, America, Japan, America, Palestine, Palestine, South Korea, America, Palestine, Palestine, South Korea, America, Indonesia, Palestine, Indonesia, Indonesia, Palestine, Indonesia, Israel, Indonesia, Indonesia, Israel, Israel, Indonesia, 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 Spain, Indonesia, Russia, Brazil, Indonesia, France, Indonesia, Japan, Indonesia, Japan, Indonesia, America, Indonesia, America, America, Indonesia, America, Indonesia, 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 Palestine, Indonesia, 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 Palestine, Indonesia, Palestine, Indonesia, South Korea, South Korea, South Korea, Palestine, South Korea, South Korea, Palestine, 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 Indonesia, 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 Indonesia. 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 America. Indonesia. Spain. Indonesia. Indonesia. Spain. Ukraine. Spain. Ukraine. Indonesia. Spain. Ukraine. Spain. Indonesia. America. 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 South Korea. South Korea. Palestine. 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 Brazil. Palestine. Palestine. Brazil. Palestine. Brazil. 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 South Korea. Philippines. Brazil. Brazil. South Korea. Brazil. South Korea. Brazil. 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 Japan. Japan. Brazil. Japan. 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 Brazil. Spain. 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 Brazil. 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 Spain. 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 Japan. Japan. Brazil. Spain. Brazil. Spain. Brazil. Spain. Brazil. 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 Japan. Japan. Brazil. Canada. Brazil. Brazil. France, Japan. 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 America. Japan. 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 America. Japan. 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 South Korea. Japan. South Korea. Japan. South Korea. Japan. Japan. South Korea. Japan. 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 South Korea. Japan. South Korea. Japan. South Korea. South Korea. South Korea. Japan. Japan. South Korea. Japan. Ukraine. America. Japan. 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 South Korea. Japan. South Korea. 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 Japan. South Korea. Japan. South Korea. South Korea. South Korea. Japan. Japan. South Korea. Japan. South Korea. South Korea. South Korea. South Korea. South Korea. South Korea. Japan. South Korea. Japan. South Korea. Japan. South Korea. Japan. Japan. America. South Korea. Israel. South Korea, Ukraine, 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 India, America, Philippines, Japan, Philippines, 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 Japan, Philippines, Canada, Japan, Japan, Philippines, Japan, Japan, Philippines, Japan, Philippines, Turkey, Philippines, Japan, Philippines, Japan, Philippines, Philippines, Japan, Turkey, Japan, Turkey, Japan, Turkey, Japan, Turkey, Japan, Philippines, Turkey, Turkey, Japan, Turkey, Turkey, Japan, Philippines, Turkey, Turkey, Philippines, Turkey, Philippines, Japan, Japan, Turkey, Turkey, Ukraine, 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 Turkey, 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 Philippines, Turkey, Turkey, Japan, Russia, 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 Japan, Russia, Russia, Turkey, Japan, Japan, Russia, 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 Palestine, Russia, 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 Brazil, America, Russia, Brazil, Russia, Brazil, South Korea, Russia, Brazil, South Korea, Brazil, Palestine, Brazil, Brazil, Russia, Russia, South Korea, Brazil, Russia, South Korea, Russia, Brazil, Brazil, Russia, South America, Brazil, Russia, Brazil, Brazil, Russia, Brazil, 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 Japan, Brazil, Brazil, Brazil. Brazil. Ukraine. Brazil. Argentina. 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 Spain. Argentina. Ukraine. Argentina. Argentina. Argentina.